What is up, everybody? Jack Paul. Another 24, another freaking take. Another like time to stop and think of how I wanted this to come across and what I wanted to say, and if I said too much or if I left shit out. Am I saying, the whole point of this is to be like open and go through shit and love all of us together and shit, and then for me, this is therapeutic too. So if you don't like listening to my story, you don't want to hear me complain, or, just not interested in, or if you are the opposite and you still don't like me very much, but you want to hear the pain and the misery, and then enjoy the times that happen and stuff like that. For whatever reason, we're all still connected, and it's crazy how so much and so the power of people can literally, manifest from like distances and over fucking. I'm talking like this is, and the coolest thing with with Jeff and unfortunately his passing is like, dude, we were connected literally through life since like our youth, through some kind of frequency and through music and through our lines, like, from fucking, I love Philadelphia, growing up skating, and he was a rollerblader too. He was a fruit booter. So like when you're talking skating and shit like that, 90% of the time, like that you people, like, you get along are skateboarders, which mad respect, because that shit's hard as fuck too. But and, like, I loved rollerblading, but man, skateboarding just looks so much doper. But I'm like, rollerblading was all about the smooth, be the Mizal King. But yeah, man, and like just the overwhelming way of living life, and the energy that I can give off, and way things affect people, and I don't know, it's weird. Like, one, I was always like this. I always overthought things. I was always curious about how things, like, happened or reacted or fucking were put in motion, and then to go through this manifested blindness. And dude, I know I did this because I even remember before fucking all of that happening, when my left eye went bad and stuff like that. I remember fucking thinking like, man, what would it be like if I went blind? Would I like do, so you set shit in motion, but, so yeah, you get the real me, and 90% of people are going to watch this. And this is really, really, this is vulnerability for me too, because this is like me, and going through this, now technically, not technically, but I'm medicated through psych meds and shit and fucking weed, thank God. But, I don't have to pay for the other side. So, like, the cracked out fucking, the waka flocka, or the flocka walking, that type of shit, or like the twitching and fucking, like, people are like, oh man, he's so tweaked out, or he's fucking like, what the hell, no, like, this is actually fucking a result of, yes, the addiction and the fucking damage on my body, hereditary crap, getting hurt over the years and not handling it, not handling my extreme, energy sucking and making, emotional tyrants with fucking like manic and shit. I get asked more times or accused when I'm normal or sober, whatever you want to fucking, like, not normal, but when I'm like what people, ideally think that, is, I mean, he's on the straight and narrow, is actually fucking the most times that I get asked if I'm on something, or people get freaked out. I can make myself sick just from the fucking anxiety and stress. But so this is what you get, is the twitching, the constant jittering, the no, 3 days of sleep, 2 days of no sleep, or like an hour or two here. I've been having like crazy ass fucking dreams that are people from like my past, and like dumb shit. Like, I'm blind, and I'm always either fucking somehow, there's no like actually like taking of drugs in the videos with me, I don't think. Except for the one with the concert that was, which is so cool. It's like a wave pool, and then there's yeah. Haven't had that one in a while, but, yeah. So, and then with on top of that, like my fucking eyes and the blindness shit, and fucking what that does to your ego and your, just, yeah. So, like, seriously though, like, what the fuck? Like, why? I get it. And like it is torture. Like, if you really think about it too, like if you know me or come across me, seriously, it's you either like me and accept the quirky shit, because that's actually, I guess, what the kind of people think it's funny. I always heard I had my own walk, my humor and stuff like that. But at the same time, like that came out of like the dark shit. Um, but you could accept me for being loud. Uh, and everything for me had to be like, I literally always felt like I was like fucking like part of a sitcom or something, or TV, and everything had to be like the stupidest joke with the biggest laugh, or like you meet this chick or girl, and you're like, in your ninth grade, or fucking at, like, on vacation with your family, and it's so special. Like I had to have those moments. I couldn't just have like fleeting. But then like the fleeting moments were the ones that were important, and I didn't pay attention to, and I sometimes find myself regretting now. And yeah, so. And everybody, if you have, I was just thinking the same thing. And I would say something probably is, you're fucking 44. You're a grown ass dude. Shouldn't you have figured this shit out back and then? And, or like, personally, like in my head right now, I'm telling myself that, like it's not adult enough, or it's not like, why can't I fucking, I'm a grown ass dude. Why can't I control this stuff? Why at 44 am I on here talking about fucking twitching and emotional breakdowns, and also from guilt and shit in the past, and for me to like make sure that I said it, like, so that makes it all locked in, and I told you guys then, because I was always open about my addiction and like my personality and stuff too. And actually, but that's one more, like right around that time, like 18, 19, 20, is where I started, I hated the world, and I just was lost. Nothing was going my way. I couldn't control anything. All these really cool things were coming to me, and, like shit beyond, like things that I could have done that, like, man, like, 18 years, like 17 years old, working at Sears, making mad fucking money on, commissions and shit like that. Like that led me into getting interested in, body language, and like like movements, and basically profiling, and getting into like I was always interested in the brain manipulation and shit. So that's when I started to get evil. And then there's the other side of it, which was funny and I liked, but I finally kind of started finding me, and I hid from that guy too by acting like a hard ass, fucking living life like not knowing if I was gonna, like, I put myself in those situations because if I didn't have to fucking think about the next shit the next day, the only thing I had to figure out was not getting fucking killed or overdosing, or I mean, it sounds fucked up, but a friend gets in some shit, you're handling business, or they get fucking come to your house and like they're shot and fucking bleed out on your couch, like right there's that dopamine, that's that fill, that escape, and with this, it's freaky because I started to find myself completely after jail, and or I found myself of who I was and who I wanted to be, and wanted to be more blunt and direct, because I hate stupid, like, and I know it sounds funny too, it's another fucking thing that trips me out, and is the whole I can't stand like stupidity, and not, or like dumb things, man, like not like, or common sense, or just things that like people do shit for certain fucking reasons, and it's so stupid, and I'm like, are you serious? And I'm like, why the fuck, like, I come off as a joke or whatever, like, can't function, can't do something, or like the other day, and it's no disrespect, mom, or anything, but my mom said something about like I said something about cooking or something's weird, and she's like, oh, you can do that, like, well, yeah, like I was actually the first one married in our family, so out of all the kids, I might not adult or function in the same way, or a way that some people, they, it's the understand, it's get lost in translation, because I can't understand emotions and the way that people handle shit on the other, like, on another level. And I'm sure that people are here, and like they, again, that know me or grew up with me or like are of my family, that can't understand my way of, like, handling things. And it just, So, yeah. And there is consequences. And I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, you guys all probably have your shit together. You're in your 40s too, or 50s, and younger. But anyway, and I'm like, like the other day, I'm sitting here like, damn, I wasn't thinking I'll go back to what I was saying about but 17, 18 years old, fucking commission, Sears, gonna graduate high school. I have no idea what I'm fucking doing. Literally just made no plans because I figured I was blue collar. I was gonna fall in the same shit anyway, but I knew I was fit for bigger things. And then to have the opportunity of creative cartoons and just being so young and naive, but if I would have fucking been able to function as I could do this in the same way, in the same energy, and make a positive impact and fucking be structured, and would have been able to ride that out and take it to a career that I probably could have never imagined. And even that opened me for doors. Well, and I still got to stay in the same world, and that was a shitty situation too, because a so-called friend and family. And I have no grudges or anything. We had a lot of good times together and shit too, and weird, dumb shit. He was always down for the cause. So all I'm going to say is an Astro van, bags of trash, getting jumped in his girlfriend at the time's jacuzzi by a bunch of fucking dudes that nobody really, that was a trip. And the Nopi Nationals down to Atlanta. Yeah. And that's what I'm talking about. So the ironic thing though is I left that door open. I left pissed off, and and instead of fucking saying to me like, hey, I'm gonna fucking tie my shoes, but let's do this. I'm gonna take charge. I'm gonna show you, and doing it that way, and being getting my outcome and my response out was in the dumb, stupid way, which was either not running, but one, and people are like, oh yeah, you fucking bailed on. No, I didn't bail. It's just fucking I ain't gonna fucking call you. If it's affecting my health or fucking. And at the time, man, I loved clothes to begin with, but I was really picky, and I just came back to the one incident. Then with fucking, I'm talking fresh pressed whites. I mean, my shit was bleached. Fucking, I'm talking 2-3 hours at the laundromat, and the fucking, with the dry cleaning laundromat, or a Morris laundromat. They was always clean, because I, used to work for them. But, yeah, and then this damn dog, which is another ironic thing, because I love animals, and I was so upset. The little fucker comes right in, my bleached crisp whites, and pees on them. You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, why am I and that's what it started at. And that's 18 years old. Just, and doing shit the way that I had, just chaos, I guess. But, the whole car scene and shit, and street racing and that kind of stuff, and women, and having an apartment at 18, and, creative cartoons, and being this, entering this world that literally was fresh and brand new. And we were the, and anybody wants to talk shit, go ahead too, because I haven't had any, back in the day, creative cartoon, whatever, that whole, riff. Let's bring it back, because damn right, we brought this shit to the East Coast. And fucking, the whole, and y'all know, I'll give a shout out. Sean, it's another reminiscent day too, man. Baker, I miss you, no matter what beef. But, being a part of that, and that whole trip, and fucking... 18 years old, and at fucking, I think it was Applebee's or something but, having LJ Garcia and fucking, two of the biggest names of freaking, LJ Garcia just fucking took the Nopi, or the Corral, the import show, which was the first big one, dude. You're talking these guys were from LA. Everything was new. And it was just and we're chilling with them at our hotel. And, I got kicked out of mine. So, no, we got kicked out, yeah. But, and you end up on the fucking, chilling and having dinner with these guys, and they just started, Ichiban. This is what I mean, and at the time it didn't click. But I was all about the experience and all about, but the people around me were paying attention. I was more about, my experience and giving them a cool experience than paying attention to like, yo, this is my career. I can do something, take this serious. No, I'm jumping off the fucking second floor or the second floor balcony into a 4-foot fucking pool. And you know what I mean? Like just those missed opportunities and shit. And this is part of it. And this is what I'm getting at is, I don't know what I'm getting at. Just everything in general, man. It all fucking comes back and is connected. And reminiscing and how close like people are. Like seriously, like you have stop and think about a fucking event or like a bigger one, something like life changing. You're not, or affecting event or something like a birthday party when you were young or the first girl or something that you ever like. Just one of those moments that like literally laid the blueprint. Or, like molded into your personality. And, like with my wife, man, and like with Nikki and, like how weird is it her fucking douchebag ex-husband, like I dealt with the car scene and shit like that and fucking didn't like him then and, hate him just as much now, even worse because, what he did to her. But, my dad and all of us with the fucking sportsmen and growing up at Silver Spring Racing and shit, at the track, all knew each other and we're that close and that, they say, the 6 degrees of, Kevin Bacon, but we're at the races the same night, growing up next to each other. Her dad is a flagman and working at the track knew my dad, Don, and growing up together and, it's just like that weird shit and where it brings you. But, so, yeah, I guess the whole end of this is we're going to be 100% real. And this is what it's like, for me personally and for a lot of other people. And for the last like 2 years, I really kind of held it back. I'm always boisterous. I'm always fucking open about my shit. And I stopped doing that. Especially at my own shows and stuff, and it just kind of, I kind of checked myself the other day too, because I was talking about why we do this, and like, if I did a nonprofit, and I'm telling the people that would be helping me support me, that I'm like, oh, but I don't necessarily I don't want it just recovery, like I don't want to, and it's not, throwing shade on anything, but I just didn't want to, and now that's, it's not just recovery, there's not just one reason, like this is my life, what encompasses everything. And my recovery and everything, it's not just the pills and the addiction, it's, you know what I mean? So we're going to go back to being blunt and raw and stop letting people who have no idea or who like need me or fucking are just, for no reason even need to make the comment, you're an older gentleman. Not only that, you're, an officer and you're supposed to be distinguished and shit. And you're more worried about, being open or a fucking 5 minutes, like, thing, this little speech I like to do to, for people just to come and have fun and why you were there and spread my story, because as much as fucking you might get sick of hearing it over and over and over, that's a good thing because I got in your head. It's for the people that fucking are like, just keep a glimpse of like one word and hear it and we connect. And goddamn it, my phone's probably gonna die, but that was Jeff, man. And Jeff of the Yo Show and his wife and that whole Philly fucking crew, man. I love you guys. And this has been a connection to Philly for years. And you go back even with this, like fucking Cabal, and we started with Philly, man, like the church. Scott was fucking blessed us enough, and I'm bringing in my homies from Philly, Obnoxious, and all these dudes that are, like OGs to me. Like real hip hop, real dudes. And we were on tour and shit like that and going down to fucking chill with MOP and fucking Obnoxious on the balcony of the Electric Factory. Like, and then to have them come here and play in my house and shit and, baked mac and cheese and chicken and Yo MTV Raps. But, yeah, so this thing I'm going to post up on the fucking YouTube or whatever, and I guess make this an episode because I'm not going to have enough time. But, all I'm saying, man, is Jeff, you'll be sorely missed, man. And for the 3 years that I've known you, I don't know if this stopped shit, but, we'll continue. Fuck.